with the Georgia Bulldogs, you're gonna feel the bulldog.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Row 60, a Georgia football podcast. My name is Clark Gaines. Joining me today, as always, Adam Thornton.
Boom!
And this is show number 146. Welcome back, Adam.
Man.
It was really weird not having you on the show last night.
No, Clark, you did a heck of a job. Very professional interviewing Josh Brooks, man. What a guy, Josh Brooks. I think we're very blessed to have him leading Georgia's athletic department. I thought you did a good job conducting that interview, man, and I appreciate Josh giving us the time to come here on Row 60 like that. And hate I couldn't do it. I had to work during the time that you, Josh, had to be able to get on with us, and we just appreciate him coming on.
Yeah.
You did a phenomenal job. There was no need for me to be on it. The way it flowed and everything, it was a great episode.
It was
I
weird.
really enjoyed it. It was wild watching it, being like, man, this is a Row 60 episode I know nothing about. I get to listen to it the first time like everybody else does. So
Yeah.
that was cool. I enjoyed that.
I kept waiting for you to chime in and pitch him a good question.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So
And I had to adjust the camera angle and everything. It did not feel right. So all that to say, I'm glad you're back. It's normal Row 60. We're gearing up for the season, obviously, and we've got a great episode for you guys on this show. But first, Adam, any thoughts on the football? Right around the corner. We're in August now.
Yeah, no, I mean, we talked about the unofficial official start is SEC Media Days, and they were down there in Florida, had those SEC Media Days, man. A lot of new faces, a lot of new coaches out there. You got Will Stein at Kentucky, Alex Golish at Auburn, of course, Summerall at Florida, Silverfield at Arkansas. So it was weird kind of seeing those new faces and just kind of looking at everything with it, and a lot of hope. That's the thing about it, man, is this new format in college football, we've beat it like a dead horse, how it's so much different now, but truly the SEC is wide open. It does look like it's Texas, it's Georgia. Of course, Texas, with the roster they have and Muschamp going over there now, kind of a do or die year for Sarkisian in a sense with the pressure he's going to have in Austin, man. A lot of hype there. And then thinking about what's Alabama going to be this year and stuff. But it's truly going to be this season when we get to the end of these 12 games in the first year with 9-game SEC conference schedule that each team's got to play 9 other SEC teams, who's going to be the healthiest and the hottest? And whoever does that comes on top of this league. And then if they can continue that, they got to do that in the playoff as well.
Right.
And hopefully win the first national championship the SEC's seen since Georgia won in 2022, man. So that's kind of something, too, been noticing. Old Cignetti, did you see he was starting to take some shots at the SEC and stuff?
He really does think he's Kirby Smart.
Hey, look, it was impressive what he did. And, yes, the Big Ten's won 3. Won 3 of the last 3 national championships. So, I mean, you got to tip your hat to him on that. But it's crazy to think that's how it's been since Georgia won it in 2022. There hadn't been an SEC team win it. So, hopefully it'll be Georgia again in 2026, Clark. Yeah. But it's going to be a wild year. I truly think it is going to be a year. And I just, when you get to August, man, and you get to where we get to see live practice updates every day, right? And we just cross our fingers when they have these scrimmages on Saturdays or any just normal day of practice. We don't get any bad injury news, right? So, because that's the thing about it, man, is these teams now are the depth is just not there anymore. Like you were accustomed to Kirby's early years or the old Alabama teams, man. They were 2 or 3 deep with just studs. You don't have that anymore. So key injuries make a bigger impact now than they used to, even so. And that's all across college football. So can't afford to have big injuries already, be behind the 8 ball, and we hadn't even had the opening kickoff Labor Day weekend yet. So hopefully we have just a camp that just cross our fingers of just injury-free, or at least nothing serious. And that's kind of, we're at the season of that right now, just monitoring that on a daily basis.
Yeah. A lot of stuff to look forward to. Big college
favorite
football
time
season
of the year, man.
Coming up. Yeah, we're really
summer's gone, baby, and I love it.
Yeah,
I ain't
me
never
too.
wanted to, not to wish my life by, because I love my life. We're blessed, right? But I've been ready for kind of this summer just to end and get in the routine of fall. Yeah, I just love fall, man. Every year.
Has your wife talked about? Well, she's probably not in the mood to go around the house and start decorating. She's a few weeks out from delivering baby number 2.
That's right.
So, but has she talked anything about potentially putting up some fall decorations?
Yeah, I mean, I've been hitting the honey-do list hard.
Really?
The past, month.
Oh, boy.
2 months.
Yeah.
So she ordered one of those Intex pools. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So it's like $1,100 above ground pool. So I had to bring in dirt with the skid steer and grade out the backyard to make a level surface.
Yeah.
Me and my dad put the pool up and then fill it up with water and get all that right. Then get the landscaping around that. We had to get the flower bed right, get the mulch in there good to go. Hung like 3 or 4 different light fixtures in the house. Had to put a new ceiling fan in the baby's room this weekend. And we've been hitting it hard, repainted the bathroom and everything. And she actually got it. She likes to paint a little bit. So did that. So it's been very much so the past couple weekends, especially until football starts up, getting everything ready to go in the nursery. And then and her like stage. It's amazing. Like when women get pregnant, they just want to completely just turn the house upside down and change everything, right?
They want to do that regardless.
Right. But it gets even more ramped up when they get pregnant, right? So all you, husbands out there that your wives hadn't had children yet, and good Lord willing, that's coming because it's the best gift in the world. That's what you got to look forward to, man.
Yeah.
You got to just be hit with some projects that you got to do, and you get them done. So thankful for getting those knocked out, and then Saturday is going to be filled with football.
There you go.
Also, one quick note on that, and then we need to move on too, is right now, Clark. Now, I can make a plan, and it really doesn't mean anything. But right now, if Baby Boone doesn't come on his own, we're scheduled to go the Sunday after the Oklahoma game.
Nice. Okay.
So my plan is to go see a big Georgia win Saturday versus Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Come back home that night, get some rest, and then go to the hospital, have a kid.
You better plan a lot of rest.
That's the plan.
Hey, when you get home from the Georgia-Oklahoma game, there's no more watching the night games, the Pac-12 after dark. You need to get to bed. You need some sleep.
Nah, just rolling with it.
Well, you're one of those kinds of people that can just stay up all night.
Just do it.
Yeah, adrenaline rush. So
anyway, that would work out perfectly if that was the case. It probably won't be that way, but just it's fun to think about now.
Oh yeah. I love it, Adam. Well, good stuff. Hey, we've got a big episode for you guys. We're going to do the top 10 most underrated games in the Kirby Smart era. This is going to be a lot of fun. I think we've always kind of talked about doing an episode sort of like this, where we each have a top 10 list. We're just going to kind of fly through them and once again, talk about the underrated games in the Kirby Smart era. So let me define that a little bit. Let me lay down some ground rules for us. Underrated in this context means, a game doesn't get talked about nearly enough. Maybe this game has faded away from Georgia fans' memory. Maybe this game was more important than people realize. Maybe this game helped define the Kirby Smart era in some form or fashion. Or maybe the game just simply deserves more appreciation and attention. So that is sort of the rules. That's what underrated means in this context. And then games that are not eligible. So there's some that are off limits that you're not going to see in this list. So don't freak out. These games are either properly rated or maybe even a little overrated. I don't know.
Right.
So these games are any college football game in the Kirby Smart era. So that's a lot.
Right.
There's some good ones we could choose from.
Think about the Peach Bowl, the Rose Bowl. I mean, we've talked about that. Orange Bowl, the memories that we have there. Just this isn't the episode for.
No.
Revisit that.
No. Also, no national championship games or SEC championship games are going to count in this. 2022 Tennessee game. Probably makes everybody's list for, favorite Georgia games of all time. That is not going to be on this list. That is properly rated.
Right.
I think that was a great game. 2017 and 2019 Notre Dame games we're going to leave off this list.
I agree.
2024 Georgia Tech you can't have on this list either because that's one of the coolest. I mean, just from a college football standpoint, that's one of the greatest games of all time.
It was.
Up there somewhere.
It was, man. I mean, just that overtime thriller coming back like that on Black Friday night was amazing, right? So, yes, I agree with all those. We've talked about them. They're great. I'd love to revisit them every single day with anybody who wants to talk about those games. But this episode, Clark, is to go back down memory lane.
There you go.
And talk about some games that we all remember. And when we bring them up, your mind will immediately go back to where you were watching them and the great feeling you had watching those wins, right? But we just wanted to revisit that, man. We're kind of in that part of crank it up row 60 for the 2026 season that we're getting to where we're going to start talking about this upcoming schedule, the breakdown of the roster, and kind of our traditional format we've done the previous 5 seasons, right? But this episode is more of a just getting everybody ramped up.
That's
right. Getting some adrenaline rush, going back down memory lane, bringing back some good feelings, and getting juiced about this upcoming season.
And as I created my top 10 list, I don't know if you did this too or have been doing this recently, but as I was creating my top 10 list, I went back and watched some of these games, the highlights, and oh my gosh, it just gets you juiced.
It does.
It's tough to be at the level of fandom we are year round. I mean, let's just be honest. It is tough to, get juiced about Georgia football in May and February or whatever. But now is the time when it cranks back up, and I think this episode is going to help everybody get back in the mood for Georgia football and college football.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're always, in the middle of March, like, God, I can't wait till football season. But it's just so long, it seems like, till it comes. But we're here. We're knocking on the door of it. It's time to get fired up about it again, man. Yeah. So hopefully this is going to be an episode that just get everybody's minds right.
That's right. So one more note, one more ground rule, all right, just for your reference and everybody out there. You can include bowl games, all right? True bowl games. I'm not talking about college football playoff games. I'm talking about just true bowl games. Those can count, and then the regular season games. All right.
Good deal.
You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Do you want to start, or you want me to start?
I'll let you start, Clark.
Okay. All right. I've got one. I know this makes your list. This is going to make a lot of people's list out there. My number 10 game, most underrated game in the Kirby Smart era on this list, I've got Georgia versus North Carolina 2016. Now, this was Kirby's very first game at Georgia. Georgia won that 33-24 in the Georgia Dome, right? It was the last season of the Georgia Dome as we knew it. And, I think about opening kickoffs there, season kickoff games for Georgia. The last one before that in the Dome, I about said the Benz, in the Dome was against Boise State.
Right, in 2011.
Right.
Yeah.
And we lost that.
Right.
And, you go into this new season with a new head coach, you really don't know where expectations are. I mean, everybody's hoping we have a good season. And we come out of the gate, and win a tough game. I mean, I'm not saying North Carolina was just some All-American team, but they were pretty competitive. They were number 22 or number 18. So I think it was a very even match. Nick Chubb, first game back after the devastating injury he had in 2015 against Tennessee. We all remember that moment.
Right.
But he comes out of the gate, 222 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 32 carries. He had that big run in the end zone, as we all remember that. That was a great moment. The place erupted. And I forgot about this, but Georgia actually trailed 24-14 midway through the third quarter before scoring the game's final 19 points. So UNC also took a kickoff back, opening up the second half.
I do remember that now, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. We had Jacob Eason come in for Grayson Lambert, and
yes,
we didn't really know our quarterback position at that point. You had Roquan Smith's safety that sparked some life, and then you had, obviously, Nick Chubb finishing off the game with a 55-yard touchdown run to seal the game. So, we didn't know it then, but that game was sort of the first chapter of the greatest decade in Georgia football history.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
I agree.
That's where it started.
It was. That was what I remember about that day, Clark, is it was more exciting, but it was kind of bittersweet in the sense of it was the realization like, hey, football season's here, Mark Richt's not on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And as somebody who coming up, been like 10 years now since that time, you think about, man, at that point in time, the bittersweet feeling you had about, because we love Mark Richt and still love Mark Richt. But it was time, of course, and you were excited about Kirby Smart and what he was going to do. And it was just surreal actually seeing him not wearing a Clemson A, but on the Georgia sideline, right? Yep. And it was like, oh, here we go. And just the exciting just hope that you had for Kirby Smart leading Georgia at that point in time, and the era was starting. And now looking back on it and everything that you had hoped for and the Dome that day that was about to start has happened. Has happened. I mean, the program has been elevated to that point of where we were all hoping for when we watched it that day. And, yeah, I mean, it's very special. It was the last time Georgia ever played in the Georgia Dome, like you said. And, I remember North Carolina at that point in time, Larry Fedora was the head coach. I think that was his last year, next last year at North Carolina. And I think TJ Yates? Is that the quarterback?
No,
it was
NFL. Trubisky.
It was Trubisky. I knew it was an NFL quarterback. It was Trubisky,
Switzer kid as a receiver, he was pretty good.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a respectable UNC team. So yeah, it was a big win, man. It was like you said. I remember Chubb's run. I remember the hype around Jacob Eason as a true freshman, and it was a fun game, fun win. Nice to have a W in Kirby Smart's first game.
Yeah, for sure. Did that make your list?
That did not make my list.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I understand why, but no, that did not make my list.
It barely made my list. I mean, yes, it's a very important game, but man, I mean, the games we're about to start talking about, there's a lot of really, really underrated games, really good ones. So, well, good. I'm kind of glad we didn't, overlap on the first one. I'm sure there are going to be some upcoming that we 100% will. All right, Adam. Next up, You go for it.
All right.
What do you have?
Let me pull up my notes on this real quick because I'm going to just kind of stay in 2016 with you.
Okay. I like
2016, of course, was Kirby's first year. A lot of transition that year, right? So, I mean, a lot of games that were like, man, you don't want to, Nickel State.
Oh, gosh.
It was not a fun day, right? And the Ole Miss game in Oxford, right? So I mean, but it was year one. It was year one. Yeah, it was hot that day. But one game when I think about the 2016 season that was just very sweet to me, and that a lot of people I think don't look back on it because we've had so many good memories against this team. But one that should get the respect that it deserves was the 2016 Georgia-Auburn game.
I love it.
Love it. I mean, that game right there, Clark, because, I think about it kind of being like the 2006 Georgia-Auburn game when we went with the true freshman Matthew Stafford, a disappointing year in 2006 where you go on the Plains and beat them 37-15. This one wasn't quite that good, but it was still satisfying because you beat a heavily ranked Auburn team. They were a top 10 team. Georgia wasn't ranked. They were, 8 or 9, right? And so, and Georgia, of course, wasn't ranked at the time. So it was every bit of just the thought that Gus Malzahn was going to come in there and beat Georgia in Sanford Stadium. And that would be the first time they would have beat Georgia in Sanford Stadium since 2005, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of what the thought process was. And I was kind of down it that day. I mean, I was at the point of the season like, it'd be nice to get a win against Auburn, maybe not, but at least hopefully beat Georgia Tech later in the season and then hopefully go finish the season on a high note and a bowl win, right?
Yeah.
And just enjoy the last few games of Georgia football that we had left. But that game, man, I remember was very low scoring, 13-7.
Yep.
The Kirby Smart, Mel Tucker defense just dominated Auburn that game. I remember Maurice Smith, the transfer from Alabama, that came over with Kirby in Kirby's first year at Georgia, having a big pick that day. It was a big pick six, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
So that day, man, was just very satisfying because it was Auburn, and it just continued the domination over Auburn that Georgia's had in a game where Georgia shouldn't have had any business winning, beating the top 10 Auburn team. But that was the first big win of the Kirby Smart era, first top 10 win of the Kirby Smart era, right? So that kind of, again, like you said, that North Carolina game kind of being a step in the right direction, but this was another stepping stone, and it kind of just gave you some momentum. I know the game against Georgia Tech a couple weeks later didn't end like we wanted it to, but still beating a top 10 Auburn team and continuing that domination over Auburn that we've enjoyed since the beginning of the Mark Richt era was very special too.
I agree. I totally agree with that. It was also Kirby's first SEC home win for what that's worth.
Right, good point.
Georgia's defense, I think, just completely owned Auburn that game. I didn't realize this. Auburn, going into that game, entered averaging 494 yards per game offensively.
Yeah.
43 points per game over its previous 5 contests, all right? Georgia held Auburn that day. Once again, their average was 494 yards a game. Georgia held Auburn to 164 total yards. And Auburn was 2 for 12 on third downs, if I did that right.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
Unbelievable, man. I mean, you think about it, Georgia scored the touchdown off the Maurice Smith pick.
Yeah.
And then it was 2
goals.
Rodrigo Blankenship field goals, man.
Yeah.
This was an old school 2001 type SEC football game. Low scoring, what I love. I love everybody now loves the whole shootouts and stuff. And I mean, there have been some classics Georgia's been involved in, winning games 44-41 or something like that. But I love this style of football, defensive, just smash mouth football, scoring on defense, man, that eventually catapults you to a win.
Yeah.
And that's what this game was. And it was a good moment, and it kind of just sparked more of just knowing what was to come in the following years.
And one more note on this game. I remember, so I was on the sideline doing some sideline photos on this game, and I will never forget the face of Kirby Smart. We all went to the locker room, big celebration. And I mean, Kirby, if he wins a national championship nowadays, obviously he's going to go in there and have a good time, right?
Right.
I think it's a big road win. You might see that nowadays. But back then, I mean, that was a huge defining moment, not only for him, but for the whole team, the coaching staff, everybody. And I've got one of my favorite, probably my all-time favorite picture I've ever taken on my cameras of all time is of Kirby Smart in the locker room. He's hugging Roquan. Jonathan Ledbetter's in the back, and Kirby's actually just ear to ear smiling. And I love that picture. I need to start selling that picture.
You should.
It's a classic picture.
Should.
I actually gifted a print to Kirby. He had asked for it later that year as we were doing our signing, our annual signings. But he said, I want that picture. So anyway, I gifted it to him, and I don't know if it's hanging up in his office. I'd like to think it is, but anyway, no,
it's hanging somewhere. Sure. Yeah. I'm sure somewhere special.
Yeah, but no, what a great game that was. A good pick, Adam. I mean, really, that is when I think that's when we set the tone. Okay, defense wins championships, right? I mean, obviously we saw that evolve over time, but that was the game. Hey, defense can win us games here in Georgia. So,
right, and man, it was just very exciting.
Yeah. All right, Adam, I'm going to stay in 2016, and this is going to baffle you. It's going to baffle you. It's going to baffle everyone listening. By the way, the Georgia-Auburn game, 2016, was number 8 on my list. On number 9 on my list, this is not going to make much sense, but just hear me out on this, all right?
Okay, all right.
When I think of underrated games, yes, I generally think of wins, right? This is a loss, though, all right? But hear me out, okay? Just hear what I got to say on this. Georgia versus Georgia Tech, 2016, terrible loss, all right? Devastating.
Yeah.
We wanted to throw up, all of us collectively, after this game. Now you're probably asking, like, what does this mean? Like, how is even making a list?
Okay.
I think this game created the most amount of fuel for Kirby Smart, for the coaching staff, for the team, for the culture, everybody. All right. We lost that game. We blew a fourth quarter lead. It was terrible. All right. But I think that was the game in which we drew a line in the sand. And Kirby got serious, and he said, I'm not losing to Georgia Tech. I'm not losing to Tennessee again. I'm not losing to Florida again. I'm not losing to Auburn again. This is the moment that pissed him off. Sorry. Ticked him off. I know that's a weird thing.
I get where you're coming from.
Right. That's why I kind of kept it up at number 9. I didn't want to inch it towards number 1 or anything. No. But look, Kirby hasn't lost to Georgia Tech since that game.
That's true.
You know, and I think it showed just how far Georgia still had to go that day. I mean, we lost to a pretty – I will say Tech was pretty good that year. I mean, with all things considered, I think they had a good year. I want to say they played ACC championship maybe or in it. But, you know, it was the dividing line between a vulnerable first year and the dominance over our rivals.
Well, I agree with that too, Clark, because you think Paul Johnson the next year when Georgia went to Atlanta in 17 – when Georgia stacked their middle linebackers. And Kirby killed the triple option after that. In 17 and 18, when they played Paul Johnson again, they didn't move the ball whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I agree. I mean, he set the tone from after that game that turned in 17 and 18. It wasn't going to be close.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I get where you're coming from with that.
No, that's a weird thing.
I understand. Yeah, but
look, I truly believe this. Sometimes losses define your program more than wins do. Okay. I really believe that. And that's a tough pill to swallow. Looking back at that, you know, obviously would have loved to have won that game. I know Kirby would have, and everybody wearing the red and black. But that game, as demoralizing as it was, I think that really did stamp hey, we're not losing to our rivals again.
Right. And then you have that bitter taste. You do go to Memphis and beat TCU in the Liberty Bowl, right? Yeah. But then you have guys, the Mark Richt recruits, obviously, because this is after Kirby's first year, the Nick Chubbs, Sony Michel's of the world, the Lorenzo Carters and everybody saying they're coming back for another year, right? You never – even – well, that was before – that was in December of 16. Right. They said they're coming back. Yeah. Right. And that right there, I think, is one of the biggest moments. You think, hey, man, this program, the foundation's being laid. Yeah. Right there. And that obviously those guys coming back are a huge core of the reason why 17 was so successful. Right. And of course we all know what happened in 2017. Mm-hmm. And then where it would just jump from there.
Yeah. And it makes you wonder, I mean, does Nick Chubb, do Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, Lorenzo, Davin, do they stick around for another year? Is it worth it? I mean, if you go on to beat Tech and, I don't know, you play in a different bowl, it's not the Liberty Bowl, but maybe you go win that game. All right, not bad. Or did that tick them off bad enough? I don't know. You know, just makes you wonder.
It definitely probably just played a factor like, hey, I don't want to go my last game at Sanford Stadium losing to Georgia Tech. Right? I mean, that probably wasn't the deciding factor by any means, but I agree. I get where you're coming from.
It had to play into it a little bit, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if it were me and I was playing Division I football and my last game in Sanford was to Tech and we lose it, I mean, I'd come back for another year.
No, I get what
That's
you're
just
saying.
me.
I get what you're saying, then. So,
all right. I know that was a weird pick. That one's out of the way. maybe I shocked some people out there. I know I shocked you. Your
Yeah,
face.
it shocked me. I thought we were going with underrated wins.
I
Kirby Smart
promise-
era, not games, but okay. I mean, you're just creating your own rules. That's all right.
Yeah. I promise you, the rest of them are wins.
All right.
Good ones at that. So,
All
right, Adam. What's next?
Let's see. I'm going to go with next year then.
Okay.
And a little bit of a lighter, of a better note, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, man, with a game that when you think of Georgia-Tennessee games, of course, the 2022 game you're thinking about, right? I mean, you think about the hobnail boot, and a game that was just so satisfying that I love to go back and rewatch because just the faces I remember of Tennessee fans in Neyland Stadium that day were just so glorious.
Yeah.
Because, they came off 2016 with a decent year.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, Butch Jones kind of had a pretty good year. They just beat Georgia on the Hail Mary in Athens. Beat Georgia 2 years in a row.
Brick by brick, baby.
Yeah. I mean, until that, Rick's last year had the tough loss in Neyland and then the Hail Mary in 16. Well, Kirby Smart comes in after that Hail Mary game in Athens in 2016, 2017, and wins that game 41-0.
Oh, yeah.
And especially older Georgia fans that lived through the 90s could realize how sweet that game truly was. Yes, I mean, 2003, we beat them like 41-14 up there as well. But this was blanking them in Neyland Stadium, man.
Yeah.
And that day, there's another game on my list that I would say that made me really feel like this is just different than what we're used to watching Georgia football now.
Yeah.
But this day was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is why Kirby Smart's in Athens.
Right.
This is the reason why that we had all the hopes and everything that we would turn into what Saban's Alabama was, or the closest thing that could ever be replicated to it. Right.
Yeah.
So it was just amazing.
I agree. And man, Tennessee that year was pretty garbage, if we're being honest. But what would happen in years past under Rick, we love Coach Rick, don't get us wrong. But what would happen in years past, we would go into a stadium like that, trap game, and we'd let them hang around. And, yeah, we might win, but we'd let them hang around. This, you're right, Adam, was pure domination. From the time we stepped on the field to the time Kirby Smart and the team left, I mean, we absolutely boat raced Tennessee.
Oh, it did. I remember Tennessee's first offensive play from scrimmage was it Stokes?
No, it was Tyreek McGee.
It was Tyreek McGee, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was that got that interception, like right first play. Quentin Dormandy threw it, didn't he?
Quentin Dormandy.
What it Quentin Dormandy?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Blank already. It's been a while since I've gone back and rewatched it, but that was sweet. And
you had Fromm's read option.
Yeah.
He scampers into the end zone. That was fun.
Yeah. But 41-0, man, I just remember just the satisfaction leaving Neyland that day and just the faces of Tennessee fans. It never gets old.
I know. That was when we saw, this is great. I've got a video of it somewhere on my phone. But I definitely saw a guy walking out with a brown paper bag with, eyes cut out on that bag for him to see. He was wearing it, walking out of the stadium. It was perfect. And one of the best quotes I've ever heard from Adam Thornton.
I'm scared. I don't remember.
This is a cocaine quote, right?
It was. Yes.
Please tell the people. I can't remember it word for it. You got to tell the people.
Oh, man. Well, I was.
Please know. Wait, let me preface this. Adam Thornton has never done drugs, but
no, I've not.
Believe that or not.
No. So I mean, I was on a natural Georgia football high coming out of Neyland, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, a bunch of Tennessee fans were around us, and I just thought, what exactly did I say? I said something along the lines, just in a very loud voice, because I'm not a very soft-spoken person.
No. Wait, really?
Yeah, I'm a little bit get obnoxiously loud, especially in football settings like that, especially on the road after Georgia wins. Not directly at fans
Right.
Not like just, but talking to like you or any Georgia fans around. And I might elevate my voice a little bit where opposing fan bases can hear what I'm saying.
Right.
I think I said something like, I was just so jubilant coming out of there, floating on a cloud. You got to remember too. This is before the Rose Bowl, the Notre Dame game, and already had. But this was still just we hadn't had these feelings in a long time, right? So
Forever.
I was floating on a cloud, man. And I think I said something along the lines like, "Let's just go do some cocaine."
Yeah. Yes. And then this Tennessee fan just turned around like, are you being serious?
Yes.
It was great. It was
great.
classic.
Yep.
Obviously, We have never.
No. I have not done cocaine
Or any drugs.
That would, but I don't know really why. It just felt like the opportune time to just let the world know that we just need to go do it. But
oh, it was so funny. Well, yeah.
I think I said it to get the reaction that I did get.
Yeah. Oh, you got it. Yeah, I promise you got it. Oh, that was great.
Oh, good times. Good times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I that was a great day. I mean, all around, just good times for sure. And, man, we've had some good wins up there.
We have. 19 was great, too.
19, 21, 23, 25. All of them.
23 and 21, yeah. Yeah, but I think, man, it's hard to pick which one was my favorite from that, but I guess it has to be 17 just because it was a shutout, 41 to nothing.
For sure. Yeah, those fans were deathly quiet that day. Mm-hmm. All right, good pick, Adam. You know, that didn't make it on my list. It probably could have. I mean, look, there's a lot of games that just missed the cut. But next game I'm going to go with one in 2021.
Yeah.
Another big rival here. Number 1 Georgia versus Florida 2021. Now, Florida was pretty crap that year, let's be honest. Anthony Richardson came on the scene, big freshman quarterback. Oh, my gosh, what's he going to do? He's the reincarnated Tim Tebow. That's what everybody was saying. And we go into that game, nerve-wracking, 3-0 start. Georgia's ahead of field goal for most of the first half, and we're kind of sweating bullets.
Right.
We're like, all right, we're the number 1 team in the country. We've proved that already. We've played some good teams, beat some good teams, and we're like, peeing down our leg, facing Florida, who is unranked, who had not a great season up that point. So right before halftime, obviously, we all know what happened. We had that sequence of 3 touchdowns within the matter of 2 minutes or something, right? Nolan Smith, he forced an Anthony Richardson fumble, set up the James Cook touchdown. Then you had Nolan Smith intercepting Anthony Richardson, and then that set up the Stetson Bennett touchdown to Kearis Jackson. Then you had Nakobe Dean with the pick 6, just unreal. I mean, that was awesome. Place erupted.
You'll never see it again.
No, you won't.
And it was glorious. Yeah. I remember just going ballistic.
Yeah.
Like no other words than just going ballistic.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I was right there with you. We had a great time. Oh, my gosh. There was somebody, I'm not going to reveal a name here, but there was somebody chirping with me. He's not a Georgia fan. For a good, 30 minutes before that moment. Just, what are y'all doing? This is y'all are so overrated. And I just said, you wait. I don't know what's going to happen, but you wait. And then sure enough, those 2 minutes happened, and I had to fire something back through text.
I had to.
But, that's what you get for trash talking during a game, too. I mean, you got to wait till after the game.
Oh, you got to. You got to, because it could backfire on you, right?
Yeah.
So just friendly banter right there. But, yeah, that day, Clark, man, what's happened in Jacksonville during the Kirby Smart era has been something that we've said it repeatedly on this show, especially going into the Florida games every year when we do the preview episode. Growing up, when you saw it reversed a lot, and in the 90s, you saw it about every year down there, right? And now what it's turned into, that Florida can't get over the mental hump of Georgia now, when it used to be the other way around. To be something that I never thought that I would see Georgia get back to this kind of domination that our parents got to enjoy watching Vince Dooley and them do in the 80s. And then, of course, Spurrier flipped it. Well, Kirby goes and he flips it, right? So, I mean, just that game, too, you're thinking about, you had that just bitter loss during the COVID year in 2020 down there. That was just, that second quarter was just a nightmare. And you were just hoping that Dan Mullen wasn't going to get 2 against Kirby, right? So, being able to do that and do it in the style that Georgia did was truly just a remarkable game against a rival that we've been so blessed with, and something that I think that Georgia fans kind of going off the rails just a little bit here, then we'll come back into the main road, is I don't know, do we really, as fans, I know we've focused the past couple of years on the early exits in the Sugar Bowls and how we've gotten spoiled as a fan base. But people are thinking about it, not only just because we've been just so spoiled, can people just sit down and really comprehend the dominating wins we've had since 2017 over our most hated rivals?
Yeah. It's a blessing.
I mean,
it's not just 1 or 2. It's like all of them.
I mean,
across the board.
We could do this list and pick handful of years of Tennessee games, Auburn games, Florida games.
Tech.
That we could put on this list. Right. It's just our personal favorite ones.
Yeah.
Somebody else might be screaming in their car or wherever they're listening to this on a jog or something. Like, how can you leave out this year against Tennessee or this year against Florida, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have a blessing of so many of these to choose from that you're talking about a game that might not be, that is kind of overlooked in a sense, not talked about enough. And it's a 34-7 blowout over Florida and Jacksonville.
Right.
And that's a blessing.
Yeah. And you know what really just grinds my gears is, they scored like, I don't know, with like a few seconds remaining, and I'm just like,
because they had to shut out, they hadn't been shut out in I can't remember how many games. It's one of the longest in NCAA, right? So I mean, we had that would have been great. But
what was crazy too, Florida actually outgained Georgia that day by one singular yard, 355 to 354. But I mean, you get those three huge plays right there before halftime before we go into the B.
Yeah,
as Kirby says.
That's right.
And I mean, that just changed the game. So that was a very satisfying win. I had Georgia versus Florida 2017 on this list. That's an honorable mention for me. The only reason I didn't add that is because I just felt like this one, I don't know, just that 2 minutes. I mean, that, like you said, you will never see those that replicated in another 2 minutes ever. I don't think.
I agree.
It's just crazy.
I agree. And both of those games, let's go ahead, because that is kind of on my list. Let's just go ahead and touch on that game first before we go on to the next one.
I like it.
So I'm going to kind of just change the rules up a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about that game. 42-7, that game.
Yeah. Same thing. They scored at the end of the game, right?
Right. I mean, but it was 21-0 like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm living in a dream. I got engaged the night before that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I was thinking that night after, you get off the high of getting engaged and you're laying in bed sitting there thinking, man, got engaged. This is great. Cannot wait. Just awesome memory and everything. I was like, man, it would really put a damper on if Georgia goes in there and gets beat tomorrow against Florida, right? But, of course, Georgia was rolling by that time in 2017, and Georgia wins that game 42-7 and up 21-0. And especially at the 2017 Georgia-Florida game, I had never seen Georgia get a jump like that down in Jacksonville in my lifetime.
Right.
And it felt, again, because there's no other way to describe it than like a dream, man. And it was just something that I just thought, this is what I've waited for so long, because Florida's my number one hated team. Mm-hmm. I mean, Georgia fans have their own personal list of who they hate the most, but for me, it'll always be Florida, number one. So seeing that, and I've talked about on the show a lot, that it's special when you leave Jacksonville undefeated, because now we've seen it multiple times, but then it was something that, oh my God, we're leaving Jacksonville undefeated.
Yeah.
In 2017.
Right.
That thought, and just coming back up north, up I-95 and 16 and everything, after that game, realizing where Georgia was with the college football playoff rankings coming out later that week, and what it would be, it was
that, let me ask you this, you would know this. Does it either have to be like 04 or something else? When was the last time Georgia left Jacksonville undefeated before 2017? Because it wouldn't have been 12 because we got beat by Carolina earlier that season. Would it have been 4 or no?
No, in 04 we got beat by Tennessee that year.
But that was before Florida,
I mean, you think about it, in 07, look, before 17, Georgia beat them in 13. Mm-hmm. Of course,
12,
we
11.
lost to Clemson that year.
Yep.
And then 12, like you said, South Carolina. 11, you go 0-2 to start the season, right? So before that, it was 07.
Yeah.
07, we lost to South Carolina and Tennessee before that.
Yep.
But then, we got hot at that point in time. And then before that was 04, we lost to Tennessee that year before. So 05, we lost Shockley, which we should have been. We were undefeated in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But we lost that game because we didn't have DJ Shockley. He got hurt by Arkansas the week before. Then we wound up losing to Auburn. And then in 02, we were undefeated going into that game. And then that was the drop pass. Last time it was a night game in Jacksonville. And we lost that game. Mm-hmm. So needless to say,
it's been a long time.
Right?
We're going to have to do some research on that.
It was probably in the 80s. It had to have been in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
So, that's the first time I experienced leaving Jacksonville undefeated, man.
Yeah.
And you felt like, again, it was just looking back on that, I can just visualize it now, just the how exciting that was.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then you had the whole build up with Chauncey Gardner, the DB for Florida, saying anybody can cover a slant, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And he very ironically gets injured that game defending a slant.
Yeah,
so
that's right. That's right. How about that?
yeah. Anyway, but 42-7, yeah, that was a beat down.
And
look at Jim McElwain's face.
That's what I was just about to say. That was a death knell for McElwain.
Oh yeah, what a
Was he
guy.
already fired before that, or they fired him right after that?
I think that was right after. Yeah,
he did get fired right after.
after.
That was the second.
No, wait. 18 and 19 or 18? No, 18 was Mullen. That's
yeah,
right.
but I'm saying that was he fired right after that game?
I'm pretty sure it was,
or was it?
It might not
before
have been
that game?
directly. No.
I mean, I know, they were saying he coached that game. Yeah, so it was right after that game.
I think so. Yeah, like literally right
after. Yeah.
I would fire, somebody that lost to Florida 42-7 after a couple of bad years. That would be my death knell.
Georgia beat Florida in 2004 when Ron Zook was fired during the bye week before the game.
I got you.
But still coached.
Right.
But that was a different time back then,
Yeah. I like it, Adam. Yeah, I mean, we could talk about a bunch of Georgia-Florida games over the years. Thankfully, this rivalry has turned.
But that game, though, was just from opening kick till the final whistle, stress-free.
Yeah.
And that's the only time it's ever been to me in Jacksonville, stress-free. Well, I'm talking about from the very opening kick to the end.
I agree. Totally agree with that. Let's talk about, let's go with another one here. We're kind of going out of order here, folks. Just bear with us. But the next on my list here is I've got Georgia at Kentucky, 2018.
That's a great.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Great one, Clark.
And this was tough to put it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I've got this at number 6. Georgia was ranked number 6, Kentucky number 9. This was for the SEC East.
Right.
Big time game. Some would argue, if you go ask some Kentucky fans, up to that point, they would probably tell you this is the biggest game in Kentucky football history.
Oh, 100%.
At least in Kroger Field.
110% it was. I mean,
it had to have been.
Being there that day, you realize that.
It was electric.
Rowdy. It was.
You're right.
To be Kroger Field,
Oh, yeah. I mean, they packed it out. They were very rambunctious before and somewhat during the game. But, yeah, this was effectively a winner-take-all game for the SEC East. Kentucky entered that game with the nation's top scoring defense, allowing just 13 points per game. Mark Stoops obviously was there, great head coach at that time. Had surrendered 107.5 rushing yards per game. Listen to this. Georgia went in there and rushed for a season-high 331 yards while holding Kentucky to just 84 rushing yards. It was a DeAndre Swift masterclass. I mean, he had a field day. Harrion had a great day from what I remember. I mean, it was just awesome watching the Dogs run and out physical a pretty physical Kentucky team at the time.
Yeah. I mean, Kentucky always gives Georgia fits in the trenches, man. I mean, it's crazy to think, but yes, Mark Stoops led Kentucky teams were very physical football teams. And Kirby Smart be one of the first ones to tell you that was one of the most physical teams that Georgia would face on the schedule year in and year out, especially during that point in time of Kentucky football too with Mark Stoops. But you're right. I mean, it was winner take all for the East. And late in the season, I mean, right after going to Jacksonville, winning an emotional game in 18 as well. You come off of that the very next week and have to go to Lexington and the cold like that. And, I remember going into that game like, man, surely we're not going to lose to Kentucky here. But if we do, this I mean, they're going to storm the field. It's going to be a just insane environment, right? But, I mean, it just showed then Georgia just came in and played their type of football. And you better be dang good if you're going to beat Georgia at Georgia's brand of football.
For sure. Yeah, Georgia won 34-17. It was pretty convincing. You had DeAndre Swift had a career high 156 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. You had Elijah Holyfield had a big day, career high 115 yards and a touchdown. You had Mecole Hardman. I remember this. That 65-yard punt return he had just really set us up nicely for that opening touchdown. But the bottom line is this. Georgia walked into Kentucky's stadium, albeit not the most hostile environment we've ever seen. It's crazy. It's weird. Walked into one of Kentucky's biggest games in school history and absolutely dog-walked them. I mean, that tells you all you need to know. And so I really like that game. I know a lot of people. I polled the community out there, Adam, and I asked what are some some underrated games that you guys have. And this was a pretty popular pick. So,
Oh, absolutely.
ball knowers know about this one. This was a fun game for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
all right, Adam, what's next?
I'm going to go ahead and do this one, man. Let's go to Labor Day weekend 2021.
I knew it.
In Charlotte.
That's
North
literally my
Carolina,
next
man.
one.
Is it really?
Yeah.
This game is special for me personally because I think if you've listened to this podcast for any amount of time, you know my disdain for Clemson University and the
Really?
Clemson Tigers. Can't stand them. Hate them. And I don't think there's enough hate for Clemson still out there in the Georgia fan base.
We need to hate them more.
We
right?
do, yes, 100%. And I'll preach that every year on Row 6, even if we play them or not, right? And even if they're declining, and that's great. That's good for America. It's good for everything is when Clemson is irrelevant in football.
Right.
Or you're on a decline, right? So, but this game right here, man, of course, Georgia is coming off the COVID year. College football is coming off the COVID year, right? So, but the COVID year for Georgia was not great in the standard of the sense that, you lose to Alabama, you lose to Florida, and it was just a weird year. And, I mean, it ended well with the big Peach Bowl win against Cincinnati. That was a good win and everything. But you just went through that whole year, Clark, of just stadiums being a quarter of the way filled.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel right.
Right.
So not only about this game being a top freaking 5 matchup at a neutral site, it was back to normalcy of a full stadium.
Yes, I agree.
And how great that felt after what we experienced in 2020 was just, man, first and foremost, that was awesome. And then it's Clemson. And it's Clemson coming off of before the COVID year, 3 national championship appearances in a row. Well, 4 national, 15, 16, 17, 18, 15, 16, 18, 19, and 20.
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 years in a national championship that they played in, man. And, at that point in time, they were favored. They were ranked number 3. We were ranked number 5. And DJ Uyunglele, just the hype that they had with him coming back. And just it was a game that I was so nervous about because I wanted Georgia to beat Clemson so bad, man.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, this is before we knew we had a special defense, right?
Oh, yeah.
You knew Jordan Davis was going to be good. Trayvon Walker was going to be good. And those type of guys, man. And Nakobe Dean. But that night showed we're watching the most historic defense in Georgia football history.
I agree.
And that was the beginning of just knowing that this is a special group. And to do it over Clemson. And Chris Smith's 74-yard pick six will always be ingrained in my head, and that being the difference that night. And again, we talked about that 2016 Auburn game being a defensive just slugfest. That's what this was again. And I'll just never forget how many times Uyunglele was sacked repeatedly. And that was just my all-time favorite defensive performance by the Georgia Bulldogs, in my opinion. That I enjoyed watching. Got the joy I got watching Georgia defensively on the field that game, man. And the frustration from Clemson fans not being able to move the football, even though we couldn't either.
Yeah.
But we made the plays when we had to.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and then, it was our first glimpse at you saw Brock Bowers out there. Like, man, this kid's different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's the first time us seeing a legend and Brock Bowers out there. And also Ladd McConkey was out there. Some of these guys that would just go down to Georgia football lore and history, there were some different guys on that field that we got to see that night. That was kind of our first realization in a sense that it's going to be just very special.
Yeah, I agree. I want to add to that. All very well said. I don't think people realize. Yes, in the moment we kind of in the moment we witnessed just. You're right. Probably single-handedly the greatest Georgia football defensive performance potentially of all time. For one given game, that might have been it.
In my opinion, it is.
It was insane. Now, the numbers may not – we got 7 sacks. That was one short of the school record against a pretty good –
ranked number 3.
Yeah, pretty good, I guess.
Ranked team, right?
Yeah. Clemson managed just 4 plays longer than 10 yards. 4. They went 5 for 16 on third down. Not great. Clemson was scoreless at halftime for the first time in 143 games.
Man.
And then you talk about Brock Bowers, freshman, led Georgia with 6 catches that game, 43 yards in his debut.
Yeah.
And then you had that beautiful, I don't know how many people actually remember this, that beautiful game-ending drive, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Where we just marched the ball down the field. We did what we had to do. We didn't score. We could have.
That's right.
If we wanted to. I guess we could have kicked the field goal, but we didn't. We just put the game on ice. That was just so satisfying.
It was, man. And JT Daniels was hurt.
Yeah.
And he missed us the next week against UAB, and the rest is history.
Right. Yep.
So, but still, he did what had to do. JT Daniels did to win that football game that day. You know, I mean, he didn't do anything to lose the game. Is what I'm saying.
True. Yeah.
He didn't throw a pick six.
Right.
Like did right.
Yeah.
And
he didn't get sacked. As
right.
much
Right. But I mean, still, he gets hurt. What was his shoulder?
I think so.
I think it was his upper body. What? I can't remember now. But I mean, played through some pain there. I remember him taking that knee, and you know, it seemed like he was in pain. But again, he misses the UAB game next week. And that's just another sequence of events you could do a whole other podcast on and insert Stetson Bennett, right?
Right.
But, that game will always be one that will always be high up in my memory bank because of my personal feelings towards Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
And even though 24 against Clemson was very sweet, because it was just we blew them out,
right,
34-3. Clemson was starting their decline. This is when we finally got Clemson in the height of their just love fest, and they're coming off of how many ever straight ACC championships, and still top 5 ranked team there, and
I love it.
Beating them like that was just sweet, and started the season off on the right note that you had to have to get to where 2021 national championship.
For sure. I like it, Adam. All right, I'm going to go with a game in 2017. This was also another good tone-setting game.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people automatically think when you think of 2017 regular season, you're thinking of Georgia Notre Dame. Remember, that game is off limits. We all know. We could talk about that game at nauseum. But another game.
This was confirmation.
Right after. Yeah.
This was confirmation.
This was confirmation, this one. We had number 11 Georgia, number 17 Mississippi State, Dan Mullen coming into town, Nick Fitzgerald. Big matchup. Fromm's, I guess, first true home start, if you will. Georgia absolutely blanked Mississippi State, 31-3. We'll never forget, all of us. Whoever was watching that game will never, ever forget that flea flicker to Terry Godwin, Jake Fromm, Terry Godwin. What a ballsy way to start that game.
I was perfect call by Jim Chaney.
Yeah.
Kirby to lead that off, man. That stadium erupted. That's one of the top loudest moments I've heard at Sanford Stadium.
Yeah.
In the sense of an underrated loud moment at Sanford Stadium. You wouldn't think a game against Mississippi State, but yeah, because the excitement coming off of that Notre Dame game, Clark, winning in South Bend like Georgia did, and a nail biter up there. And you got to remember, man, coming into 2017, we're like, okay, here's that year 1 to 2 jump that we've seen a lot of these good coaches and programs have from their first year to their second year. Let's see if Kirby Smart gets it, right? So you get that excitement and that hope against Notre Dame, and then you come back to Athens, everybody just eager, ready just let loose, and just all we needed is Georgia to give us something to just go crazy about, and they did that day.
They did.
And
that's when you scaled the wall at Route 60, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I flew over it. Yeah. I was so fired up, man.
Oh, yeah, that place, you're right. That is one of the loudest crowd pops. Is that what? Yeah, crowd pops I've ever heard in my life. It was super, super loud. The flea flicker to Terry Godwin, 59-yard touchdown pass, that obviously set the tone for the entire day. Fromm completed just 9 of 12 passes for a then career high of 201 yards and 2 touchdowns. So not a bad game from him, but I think we ran the ball really well. Obviously, we limited Mississippi State's attack that day. You had a DeAndre Baker interception. I think you had a Dominic Sanders interception as well. You had a big Roquan Smith sack.
Yeah.
I remember that. And then, Mississippi State, they never reached the end zone, not once. You know, and you're right, Notre Dame, that game sort of suggested, hey, this Georgia team might be legit.
Yeah.
This Mississippi State game confirmed it. So,
that's right.
This was the performance I think Georgia just looked complete, just totally dominant. And I think in the same way, and we're going to talk about this game. I know this game's on your list. I know it's on mine. In the same way that 2021 Arkansas kind of confirmed, holy crap, this season's going to be amazing. I think this was the game for me in 2017 that confirmed that as well. So, great game.
Well, you just took the words right out of my mouth, because I was going to say a game that I hold very similar to this one. Like when I think of 2021 Georgia-Arkansas, which is where we're going next.
Yeah.
And I think about 2017 Mississippi State, for whatever reason, I have the same feeling like you just mentioned in those two football games,
Yeah.
right? So early season games, this was in early October. This one, man, had the feel that it was a noon kickoff.
Yep.
And you think noon kickoffs, even against SEC teams, especially like somebody like Arkansas that could be a snoozer of sorts.
Right.
Man, College game day was there, and Georgia fans 30 minutes before that game were fired up, ready to go at 11:30, ready to roll, ready for the pandemonium just to ensue inside of Sanford Stadium. And 37-0, like you said, Clark, after leaving the stadium that day, I was like, this team's going to win the national championship.
Yeah.
Very well. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's just the feeling it was because, again, another dominating display by Georgia's defense. And at the time, too, you got to remember, this was Sam Pittman's, what was it, his second year at Arkansas?
I believe so.
Then?
Yeah.
So he kind of had him off to a hot start at that point in time, right? So he was
Or they were undefeated.
ranked. Yeah, they were ranked in 21.
Yeah, they were number 8.
I mean, yeah,
This is a
KJ
top
Jefferson.
10 matchup. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were. They were number 8, weren't they? Mm-hmm. This was a top 10 matchup. That's exactly right. So, so they were undefeated coming in. KJ Jefferson got a lot of height, and then just to blow the doors off of them, 37-0 was just unbelievable.
Yeah. Georgia led 21-0 before the first quarter even ended.
Yeah.
You got the Dan Jackson.
The block punt, man.
That was
when
when.
it was just
I think we all looked at each other and said, this team is just different. I get
yeah,
goosebumps
I
thinking
do
about
too,
that moment.
man. I mean,
Oh, my gosh. Georgia rushed that day, 273 yards. Arkansas finished with just 162 total yards.
that's right.
Razorbacks didn't even reach 100 yards of offense till the final minute of the third quarter. Yeah, it was Georgia's first shutout of a top 10 opponent since 1976.
Yeah.
And only the third such shutout in program history. So, I mean, very historic altogether. I'll never forget, Adam, there were 2 Arkansas fans sitting right in front of us. Great guys. I mean, like truly salt of the earth. They were there. They were excited. They were cheering their team and, doing woo pig suey, whatever, before the game. And I got to a point, I started feeling bad for those guys. Because you just got to know. I mean, they're sitting there thinking the same thing. Oh, my gosh, this could be a magical season for us.
Yeah.
And, I mean, before you know it, you blink your eyes and, oh, my gosh, 21-0.
That's right.
It was honestly, it was kind of what we felt going back to that Georgia-Alabama game. That is not on this list, by the way. In 2024, when Jalen Milroe scored.
It was 21-0 like that. But Georgia came back.
That's true.
Took the lead.
Yeah.
Arkansas was just buried from the beginning.
Bless their hearts. That was a great game, though.
Oh, it was. And to be at noon like it was.
Yeah.
A hot day like that. But to be as electric as it was it was amazing, man.
And I could say this now.
amazing.
I hope this didn't affect anybody severely, but I had COVID that day, 100%. Now I didn't test. I didn't officially know.
You did. I do remember that.
But now
you
when I
looked
got out
bad.
there in that heat,
well, you didn't know. It's not like you just. Yeah.
I promise I didn't. What is the word? Neglectfully go out there and sit in Sanford and try to give people COVID. That was not the intent.
No, you were already.
I didn't understand that I had
it. Hit you when you were there.
But when I was there,
you coming back from college game day.
Yeah.
You look. Yeah. Even
I mean, I'm white.
Yeah, I was about to say even. You look like Casper.
I look translucent.
Like Casper Friendly Ghost. It was. Yeah, you did.
Oh my gosh.
You did. It looked like you could see
But
through.
thank the Lord I didn't miss
rough.
that game.
Yeah,
it was great.
That is all it was.
Oh my gosh! Also, just a little fun
man.
row 60 tidbit. That was a debut of the,
That was
of the game
the debut of the, yeah. Even made a sticker out of it, man. That is true. That was man. That seems like yesterday, but we're coming on what 5 years of that.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, what a great game. That made number 2 on my list for sure. Georgia, Arkansas, 21. Good pick, Adam. I'm going to throw it back. I'm going to throw it back to 21 again. There's a lot of good games. This is going to shock you right here. But let me clarify. This is not the 21 season.
Oh, gosh.
This is a 2020 season. And only one game makes this list, I guess.
Okay.
Just hear me out. This is another head scratcher for some of you. I'm going to go back to the 2021 Peach Bowl. Once again, this was the 2020 season, 2021 Peach Bowl. I was not there for this game.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, I don't think this game gets enough love.
Okay.
All right. There's number 9 Georgia, number 8 Cincinnati. Cincinnati, great season. I mean, they would 100% have made a college football playoff with 12 teams. This is back when we only had.
Well, they made it the next year.
Right. They did. Georgia ended up winning this game 24-21.
They did.
Georgia trailed, though, 21-10 entering the fourth quarter. I think, JT Daniels threw for 392 yards. You had a big George Pickens day.
Tyreek Stevenson had a good day.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Where is that guy at? Is he in the league?
Knows? I doubt it.
Anyway, Azeez Ojulari had a huge day that day. Had a big strip sack, right? But, I mean, what really sealed the deal was Jack Podlesny's 53-yard field goal to win the game. Instead of going to overtime, you win it right then and there. At this time, this was the largest comeback in Kirby Smart's tenure at Georgia.
Yep.
And the reason why I picked this game, and this is high on my list, I know.
Yeah.
Georgia treated an undefeated opponent seriously, and I think this game set the tone. It sort of laid the groundwork for the years to come. I remember watching the guys, too. I mean, after the game, obviously, you're going to have a big field storming as a team when your kicker puts it through the uprights to win the game. No doubt about it. But you just saw there's jubilation. This was kind of, too, towards the tail end of COVID. We kind of saw the light at the end of the tunnel with COVID. I really do appreciate going back and watching that game. I know this is not a favorite pick. This is why it's underrated to me. I don't think this game gets enough love, but this does. I mean, this is the last game before we go on that national championship run for 2 seasons.
No, you're right.
And,
I agree with that.
It was good. I don't know. It was good. Maybe it shouldn't have been number 3 on my list, but
Tyreek Stevenson is still in the league with the Chicago Bears.
Right.
Of course, obviously transferred from Miami, and I didn't want to keep up with him after that. But I mean, golly, he was a. Yeah, I remember him though having a big day and the black jerseys.
Oh yeah,
I mean it was fun. It was wild, man, because that was a different feeling. I did go to that game, and it was wild being in Mercedes-Benz Stadium after all the SEC championships leading up to that point in time. It was the 2019 one against LSU, the 18 one against Alabama, the 17 one against Auburn, and then the 17 national championship game. I mean, I just remember at that point in time, every memory going into Mercedes-Benz were high-state big football games.
And this didn't feel like it.
Packed to the brim, just nerd. I mean, you just felt knots in your stomach because, I mean, the games were just so huge and meaningful, right? The SEC championship games or national championship games. And this one was just, I could hear a pin drop walking in there, right? So I got some Brewster's ice cream, and you're sitting there, and it was me, my mom, and dad, and Kelsey. Just
good family out.
Yeah, just a family out. And then, I mean, of course, back then you had 4 seats, and then there was like 12 seats on either side of you vacant. And I just remember sitting in there, like, you could just hear it was so weird being in that stadium.
Yeah.
And I mean, even though we've been through it all year going to those games, it still was just so weird going in Mercedes-Benz like that, where you just felt big, huge football should be being played. Like it should be packed.
And it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
So that kind of just put a damper from being there on my end from it. But it was a great win, man, because you wanted to end the year on a high note. And like you said, coming back from that, and Jack Podlesny, I think, is a kicker or just Georgia player, period, that doesn't get the love he deserves, man. I mean, he had a very solid career at the University of Georgia, and that kick, man, was huge. I mean, it was not a tough field goal to make whatsoever. And, I remember Azeez Ojulari going out with a bang in his last game with the red and black, man. And, it was just a good way to end that year and anytime you get to win a New Year's Six bowl game or an old BCS bowl game, then especially put that trophy case on Butts-Mehre.
And the thing is, like, kind of to my point earlier, this team could have laid down and sort of died.
Right.
I mean, I think of the same way with Georgia and Florida State. That was on honorable mention. Georgia, Florida State in 23. Both teams had a great case to be in a
show the difference
playoff.
in the culture.
It showed that's my point. And that's the same thing here. Now, Cincinnati, I mean, this was a big game for them. They didn't lay down and die. They didn't pout. They didn't fold their arms and stomp their feet and cry about it. They showed up to play. But my point is, we did too.
Yeah.
We had we didn't necessarily, I don't think we belonged in a 4-team playoff that year. But, I mean, a 12-team? We should have been in a 12-team playoff. We wouldn't have been, in a 4-team. But we showed up to play. It showed that, hey, we are who we say we are, right? Like at Georgia, we talk about these buzzwords, the tough, the grit, the determination, right? That's we I think personified that day in the Bend. So
right,
I know that's a weird pick right there, but yeah, I'm sticking with my guns here. Maybe somebody out there will agree with me on that one.
I mean, it was a memorable win. It was good.
Do you not think it's underrated though?
Yeah, it's underrated.
Okay,
I
okay,
agree
good.
with you.
All
That's
right,
good.
all right.
That's
Ooh,
good.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, 100%.
But it was weird.
It's
Yeah,
a
I
near-
wasn't there though.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
yeah. I love how you adjusted the rules to slide that one in.
Yeah.
Of about a play. Like, I mean,
know.
we could have said no, like New Year's 6 games, but just no New Year's 6 playoff games. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Where you
I
can
make my own
sneak it.
rules.
I have been. You have been a very big, not even have been there, a huge advocate of the Peach Bowl win that year for all these years now.
Oh yeah,
That's good.
I love it.
But you think about it, man. Cincinnati had Desmond Ridder, who spent some time with the Falcons, was the quarterback. They had a good coaching staff. Many don't remember Marcus Freeman was their defensive coordinator.
Oh, really?
The current Notre Dame head
that
coach
is
was
right.
their defensive coordinator for that game. And Luke Fickell, he's flamed out since really at Wisconsin, but he was the head coach of Cincinnati then. And of course, like we mentioned, they went on in 2021 to make the 4-team playoff, and where they got beat by Alabama. Before Alabama met Georgia, of course, in Indianapolis. So, yeah, but I mean, it was a great run for Cincinnati there. And like you said, they were there to play too, man. And it just, like you said, it just showed that Georgia culture of never quitting, even though some people would think there's nothing, there's not like you win this game, you get to advance on into the playoffs or have another championship aspirations, though. It just showed we're going to finish this season on the on the high note, right? And even though we faced adversity first where you could just go ahead and lay down, they didn't. They came back and won. So, yeah, I mean, it was thrilling. It was good.
I like it.
But the black jerseys.
Black jerseys. What are your thoughts on the black jerseys?
I like them.
I do too. I'll tell you what I don't like about them, or that version of them, is the dog collar with the spikes. I'm just not a big fan of that. Give me the red classic collar.
I don't like the Kirby Smart era black jerseys. I like the numbers red trim. Mark Richt era black
totally
jerseys.
agree.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Sharp look, man.
It is. It is. I mean, I know it's crazy how at Georgia the black jerseys have just fell under the curse and just the voodoo that it has in the fan base since 2008.
Yeah.
But
hey, we wore them against Louisiana Monroe, was it? Or Lafayette, one or the other. In 16.
Yeah.
We won that game. So
yeah, well, one against Mississippi State
Right.
in 22. Wore them 2 times. COVID was just such a wild time. COVID was like, hey, let's just break out all these alternate jerseys,
Why
red
not?
pants.
And, I was about to say red pants,
so,
Arkansas. Hey, that was an underrated game. We got to see 3 different
game.
Georgia quarterbacks.
Oh,
that
man.
game.
What a time. Yeah.
Dwan Mathis and what was Jamie Newman.
Kicking off the season in late September.
Wait, Jamie Newman didn't even play us.
No, it was Dwan Mathis and it was Stetson.
Yeah. And JT. And
JT didn't play. He
didn't play, but I'm saying he was on.
He was on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had Jamie Newman, preseason Heisman winner, University of Georgia. What even happened? Did he just quit football?
He just quit football.
I don't remember.
He went to. He was just gonna decided that he got some bad advice that let's just forego this season and not play at Georgia and just go ahead and enter the draft. Terrible decision. Thought he accomplished all the accolades he needed to at Wake Forest in 2019.
Where is Jamie Newman? Somebody answer that for us.
my goodness.
Comment. I really want to know.
I would love, we need to interview Jamie Newman on here and ask him,
what happened?
you regret not playing at the University of Georgia? I mean,
we could ask a bunch of guys who maybe left for the
not
draft.
only that in the sense of what it could have done for your potential draft stock, even though the COVID year was wild. But just think of where Georgia football went even after that 2020 season and how good it would have looked on a resume to say, hey, I was a starting quarterback at the University of Georgia during the Kirby Smart era.
Yeah. You get to sell insurance.
You'll never know now. I don't know. I hope he's doing good. I hope he's got a nice family and just being a good husband and father, man, living at the end of the cul-de-sac.
Okay.
Just gets up, puts a suit and tie on in the morning, drives into the office during the rat race, man, and just gets home in time for supper and has some good quality time. I hope, Clark. I genuinely hope that for him.
One could hope.
Living the American dream, we hope.
Where is Jamie Newman?
We hope.
Somebody.
God bless him.
Let us know.
I mean, no ill will. No. Not at the time. I'll never forget. I was back here working on something in the shop, and I read that, and I think it was a pair of pliers. I just slammed down on because I was just so frustrated with COVID and just everything at that point in time in life. I mean, we were blessed. We were healthy at the time. A lot of America couldn't say that.
Right,
but
true.
But I was ticked. I'll never forget I was back there, and I was at a table, and I got a set of pliers and just slammed them down on the table.
Do you still have those pliers anywhere?
Yeah, they're somewhere back there. So anyway.
We need to get them autographed by Jamie Newman. and auction them off for charity.
I was like, what, how, why? Because it was so random. It just one day, Jamie Newman is foregoing the 2020 season.
Oh my God!
If
anybody doesn't understand the Jamie Newman reference or understands this part, just go research that. It's fun Georgia football lore for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Wild times.
Yep. We're going to do an episode one day of just like forgotten Georgia football players, just people you haven't heard their name in quite some time.
That's right.
Like Rhett McGowan.
But Jamie Newman doesn't even deserve to be on that list because he never played a snap.
True. That is true.
So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I hope he's doing well.
Yeah.
Hope he's doing well.
All right, Adam, I think we're close to our number one picks on this list. Are you? Have you given us?
Yeah, I got some honorable mentions, but I'll just throw out one last one I want to talk about.
Okay. You want to do honorable mentions then, like the number one?
Yeah.
Let's do some honorable mentions.
Okay.
How about that? And then we'll come back to our
just
number one.
Very quickly. You want to start on some, or you want me to start on some?
Yeah, just go ahead.
I'll do a twofer.
Okay.
Because they're the same team in the same venue. Give me 2018 and 2022 Georgia, South Carolina. That make your list. Either one of the two.
South Carolina 18 or what? What'd you say?
Or 22.
22.
18 and 22.
No. I mean, now that you say it, I guess I could add them, but no, it didn't make my list.
Yeah, I mean,
but great games, yeah.
Yeah, both of them smoking hot. Just, in the pits of hell in Williams-Brice Stadium in early September. I mean, you have an experience. If you want to experience
hell,
what will make you, it'll make you turn to the Lord. Just go to Williams-Brice Stadium in the second week of September. I promise you, for a day game. It'll do it. It'll do it.
Yeah.
Man, it's awful, man. People just drop like flies. I've never been to a stadium in my life where you just see med units everywhere. Just little people like here in the combat zone, stretchers going left and right out. People being just escorted out of the upper deck because it is just hot. It's just
hell. Let's call it how it is. Hell is a real place, folks.
It is.
Know the Lord. In a very serious note, come to know Jesus Christ.
I agree with that.
But no, you are right.
But no, just play it right. But it is hot, and it was very satisfying to see those two beatdowns, man. I think 2022 is more satisfying because coming off the national championship year, and then being able to just go into Willie B and Shane Beamer's reaction too, and then the Kirby Smart, like when you remember what was it when he got the first down when he looked the boom and it looked straight at him, and man, it was just great,
classic, just
domination.
Shane Beamer. You know what? We'll save this conversation for our South Carolina preview, but he blew up at the volleyball team that day.
He did.
We'll talk about this later. That was great.
Oh, that was great.
So
I think just go ahead and talk about it.
Well, if you didn't see,
that's a long time. The South Carolina preview is a long time from now. We can even talk about it again then.
No, we will. And we'll break out the Shane Beamer picture frame.
Oh, great.
But anyway, so
we've missed that.
If you missed it, 2022, Georgia, South Carolina, you need to go back and watch the full game because that's just a very satisfying win in general. Stetson Bennett flu game, by the way. He was sick, throwing up.
Yep.
Probably hungover. But anyway, Shane Beamer absolutely loses his cool on TV, and you can see it just briefly. He's yelling at the volleyball team because they were being recognized. I think it was a volleyball team, or maybe it's a women's basketball team.
It was some Title IX sport.
Really? I mean, I will say, in Shane Beamer's defense, though. So, all right, so hold up. I'm getting too ahead of myself. So, they're out there a little longer than the TV timeout.
Yeah.
It's time to get the play on the field. And what?
But they worked hard for that recognition.
They did. They sure did. But Carolina, the football team, not the Title IX team, the football team was out there about to run a play, and they were trying to set up some sort of trickeration.
Yes.
Because I believe it was either third and long or fourth and long, or fourth and short or third and short. And so they had this beautiful play drawn up. They'd taken a timeout to get it all set up.
Yeah.
They run their team out there, wanting to snap it quick. Well, the Title IX team, the women are out there taking their sweet, precious time. God bless them, waving to the student section. They did earn it.
They earned it.
And I'm going to tell you something. That is not on the women out there who work their tails off to get that recognition. It is on the event
game day
staff.
That's
the
right.
Game day coordination. was terrible that day. And
they were
Shane
shell
took it.
shocked at that point in time, too. They were getting their collective haze whooped at that point in time.
They were.
And Shane was already bitter about that.
He
It wasn't
was.
that. He just was looking at somewhere to unleash.
They were the scapegoat. We've only listed 2 honorable mentions. And really, that was a twofer.
Yeah, 2018, touch on that. Of course, Will Muschamp was coach then. I just remember DeAndre Baker's pick 6, how sweet that was.
Yeah.
And just kind of, at that point in time, you came off of the special 2017 season. We were hoping, hopefully we're going to build off of that. And it just showed, man, domination.
Well, and then Deebo Samuel, somebody interviewed him
Yeah.
asking about DeAndre Baker, and he said, who? And it was very satisfying when DeAndre Baker had, one of the first plays had that pick 6.
Yep.
Almost absolutely screwed us over because he dropped the ball.
That's right.
And then I can't remember who, but somebody picked it. It was one of our linebackers, picked it up in the end zone, and that's what actually scored.
That's right.
He actually dropped the ball before he crossed the end zone. Anyway.
That's right. Yeah.
I got 23 at Auburn on my
I do
honorable
too.
mentions list.
I do too. That was on mine too.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about
Very
23
stressful.
Tennessee?
I don't have them on the list, but definitely should be. I enjoyed 23 Tennessee more than 21 Tennessee, even though both of them are sweet. So
Yeah.
give me that.
And honestly, 25 Tennessee. I tried to leave off some of the 25 games, just recency bias.
23 was special.
23 was.
That was a good one.
I mean, Dylan Sampson scampers for a 75-yard touchdown. It is the loudest, allegedly, the loudest any college football stadium has ever been.
Yeah.
Ever. 137 decibels is extremely loud. We were there. We witnessed it.
Yeah.
It got loud.
Yeah.
And to come back with Carson Beck and Brock Bowers and all of our guys then, and to win that game was something awesome.
It was. It was.
Yep. A few others, just right quick. We'll spout these out. I had 24 and 25 Texas.
Dang.
Both great games, right?
Yeah, that's on my list. That was going. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Here, you continue with yours.
No. 24 Texas more so than 25 to me.
Oh yeah.
Even though 25 was sweet.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll touch on that just real quick. 24 Texas, just how special that was going to Austin, that trip, and then just how much fun we had on that trip. Just a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And the football game, man, I mean, just the fans were just wild. They just wanted to beat Georgia bad. And then the way we came out, our defensive played that night was just wonderful all the way around, man. I mean, that game, I'll always be thankful for Trevor Etienne.
Yep.
And his time at Georgia, that is when I think about Trevor Etienne and his time at Georgia, I think about the 2024 Texas game.
Yeah. Both Texas games.
Well, both Texas games that year, but
Yeah.
because we can't talk about championship games.
Right,
that
right.
game, that specific.
And
game
Jalen
also,
Walker, man.
Dalen Everett, too,
Dalen Everett,
man.
yeah.
That was just a fun night. And then beating a team like Texas and just kind of the hype around them coming to the SEC, still the hype we have to put up with today of them now in the SEC. Going there in the nicest stadium I've ever been to.
Oh, yeah.
And doing what they did was just truly unreal. Mm-hmm. Just a fun night.
Couple more right quick. 23 Ole Miss. I think people forget about that one. That was Brock Bowers' return from his injury. Miraculous. And, I mean, just to put it on Lane Kiffin that night.
That was on my list.
Yeah. That was a sweet victory. And that is when we felt like in 23, oh, my gosh, we've had our ups and downs this season. We've had some hiccups. I mean, we're still undefeated up to that point.
Yeah.
But we were like, this team's legit. That's what I gathered from that game.
I agree.
So-
I agree with that.
And then the last one I have, not many people are going to remember this one, 2018 versus Tech. The only reason I have this on my list, number one, this was like my senior day for working with the team. But number two, sending Paul Johnson out with a big fat L to end his career.
That's right.
I love that.
Oh, it was great. It was perfect.
Yeah. So-
Again, like you talked about earlier, that 16 game, it set the tone 17-18 that it wasn't going to Tech wasn't going to have a chance to move the football on Kirby Smart.
That's right. Oh, yeah. All right, Adam. Any more you want to mention?
Yeah, my
Honorable
last one. Wait, are you done? Are you done? with
I'm
your
done
list?
honorable mentions. But
You
I've got one more on the list.
No, I got one more on the list too.
I wonder if it's the same one.
Go ahead. You go first, and then I'll tell you.
If it's the same one, we'll just piggyback.
Okay.
All right. My number one is Georgia at Missouri, 2022.
that is
yours?
not my number. one.
Okay, good. All right. We got a little bit more
All right, yes.
episode for
Yes,
you guys.
right.
All right. Let's talk about this game because this was wild. We were in this shop watching that game together, me and you.
Yes, we were.
Our patrons have seen just a classic video of our reactions
Yes.
to the events that unfolded that night. That is great stuff. I go back and watch that video all the time. Georgia wins this game 26-22. All right. Missouri became the first team to lead Georgia at any point during the 2022 season. Georgia fell behind, 13-0, later trailed 16-3, entered the fourth quarter down 22-12. Georgia moved the ball, though, 481 total yards, 28 first downs, but just could not finish drives. Like, we would move the ball well. We just could not punch it into the end zone.
Yep.
Jack Podlesny had a great game, kept us alive, 4 field goals. Their kicker had an all-worldly game. I mean, I've never seen a kicker that clutch than Missouri's that night. I can't remember his name. He was the thicker kicker, though.
Yeah,
that's what they called
him.
Right. You had Stetson Bennett converting a fake field goal and a run that extended a late first half scoring drive. You had Kendall Milton's 1-yard touchdown. Dejon Edwards had another 1-yard touchdown. Notice when we scored, we were right there at the goal line. Missouri made us earn it that night. And hats off to them. They played a fantastic game. Georgia played as bad of a game as you could play on the road in the SEC that night. We rushed for 107 yards in the fourth quarter alone, and that right there is what won us that game that night. What do you remember about that game, Adam?
The stress. Just like, I mean, it was one of those games that was, man, you just thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're about to lose to Missouri. Yeah, and, just how special that season had been up to then. And then, of course, obviously continued to be. But when you look at that game, just that was the moment where Georgia was faced adversity, overcame it. And then that a characteristic we talk about that you got to have to win a national championship, which later proved to be the case with that football team. But I remember, man, listed on TV that third down trumpet that they had.
Oh, yeah.
I just would get sick every single time that would come home. So I've never been more stressed watching a game not being there. Like, it was just, it was killing me. Like, it was just, it was awful.
This was a great game, too, because it was Georgia's first double-digit comeback win since the Rose Bowl. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll be dang.
So,
that is right.
Yeah. I mean, big comeback. And without surviving this game, Georgia's chances of repeating, I mean, they're pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
Right? They take a big hit. We don't have that perfect 15-0 season either. So
that's right.
I think this is a very, very underrated game.
Yeah, I agree, 100%, man.
So that's my number one.
That's a good one, Clark.
Yeah,
that's a real good one. I like it.
Yep,
I like it.
A lot of people agreed with me too when I polled them earlier today. So yeah. All right, so I'm excited to hear yours because maybe I'm missing
this
something.
one might not be what you would call underrated in
Okay.
a sense, but since it fits in the rules.
Okay, yeah.
it's one
I
of
bent
my-
some rules, so you get
This is my favorite game that I'll talk about right here in the sense of I mean, some of these other wins against Tennessee and Florida, but just pure, God, this is just it. Piggybacking off 2022, let's go to the season opener against Oregon and Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're coming off of the mountaintop high of Indianapolis against Alabama. It can't get any better than that, right? I mean,
Right.
This is if I never see another Georgia football game after this when I was leaving Indianapolis, Indiana, I'd be fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, the next season rolls around. Like, can Georgia do it again? Are we going to be that good again? You lose some guy. How many you set a record with first-round NFL draft picks? I mean, of course, at that point in time, you could still reload and you had depth then. And you can't do that today and have the transition from the talent you had in 21 to 22 in college football anymore, in my opinion,
Right.
where we're at with how NIL and the portal has gotten. And it was the first game, I feel like the last true super team that we'll see in college football play. I think 2022 Georgia is going to be the last super team that we'll see.
Yeah.
As far as just
Stacking depth.
right? I mean, talking about 2019 LSU, 2020 Alabama, so on and so forth, right? So,
Right.
That game, man, I remember leaving it and almost having just a tear in my eye thinking, like, this team can go ahead and do it again.
Yeah.
And sure enough, but just the domination and just how Stetson Bennett looked that day and that offense did, and of course the defense did 49-3. And I think Georgia's offense too, scoring on his first 7 possessions.
Yeah.
I think
Something stupid like
no,
that.
it wasn't
Yeah.
7 possessions. I mean, it
It's
was
close.
first, 5 or 6.
Right.
I mean, it was just never even a ball game. You think, and Oregon has an NFL starting quarterback that's currently in the league now for the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix was playing for them that day. and the defense shut them down, man. And, yeah, I mean, of course, we all remember that game, but it's one I look back on of just that's Georgia football in the Kirby Smart era right there of just domination.
Yeah. You're exactly right. We all had that going into that season like, is this possible?
I was like,
do it again?
It's a very talented roster. It's good. I mean, you got some good key players coming back, but in a sense, you lost who you lost in the first round of the NFL draft, right, in 21.
You're like, how could you possibly reload that?
And then you're losing Dan Lannon. Obviously, he goes to Oregon. He was the head coach for Oregon that game. It still is. But, Glenn Schumann steps up, and, it was just one of those games that was just very satisfying, right, and set the tone to an undefeated season.
Yeah. Adam, I want to say that you and I looked at each other and said, we're winning a national championship this year. Now, how serious we actually were, we felt really good about it.
Yeah.
Had we put money on it, we could have won some money.
Oh, yeah.
But, man, you're right. That game was very sweet, satisfying. Set the tone, obviously, for the 2022 season. And what a dominant run that was. I mean, really, you think about, some people would argue, Georgia didn't really play anybody in the regular season. That may be true. I mean, we opened up with a solid opponent in Oregon. We go on to beat Ohio State. We go on to beat a decent LSU team in the SEC championship. Obviously, we boat race TCU, the biggest blowout in national championship history. But.
Yeah, but I just think the kind of feeling after leaving that game and then how 2022 played out undefeated, historic just season that was, that's the best season of Georgia football history.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I mean, I'm not talking about your favorite because probably everybody's going to say the 2021 national championship was more memorable than the 2022.
Yeah.
But as far as just the best season, because it was undefeated and there wasn't a blip in it.
Yeah, almost, but. Yeah.
Almost, and we just talked about, but there wasn't. It was the best season in Georgia football history. So I'm going with the opener that year.
I like it.
Pure domination against a Power 4 team, neutral site in Atlanta. It was a great day.
Yeah, I think that's still underrated. Maybe it's like properly rated, but I feel like there's a lot of Georgia fans who kind of forget about it. I forget about that game sometimes. And then I'll go to YouTube and then, oh boy, I watch the whole game because it's fun.
I mean, it's not like Oregon was a top 5 team coming in. They're breaking in a new coach. It's not like playing Oregon this year would be if you did. But still, it's the way Georgia won it.
Exactly.
And
good pick, Adam.
Just then also you saw a gigantic leap in number 13's play from 21 to 22.
Yeah.
That set the tone for the season he would have in 22. That would be even better.
Yeah. He made that big throw to A.D. Mitchell. You had the
Ladd McConkey.
End around and the touchdown.
Malachi Starks.
Had
his pick.
You had the Darnell Washington.
Yes.
I don't even know what you call it. He just carried the ball and just let over guy and trucked another. And oh man, what a fun team!
Men among boys out there, right?
Yeah.
So
I tell you, we got some guys like I'm not saying just like Darnell Washington, but they got similar stature, size. This year. So we got a lot to look forward to, folks. Well, Adam, I think that's a good list. I know we kind of deviated from the top 10 thing, and that's okay.
Just being able to throw some out there. Hey, and if we missed one, which we probably did, or one that's just special to you for whatever reasons, it might be Georgia won the game, but it might be a cool family story. Somebody got to go to the game with you, share a memory with. Let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it's all about. So
comment what games we left out. I'm sure there are some, so make sure to comment. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Hey, and if you've enjoyed this episode, send this to another Georgia football fan. And if you're watching on YouTube, just make sure to subscribe. We got a lot more episodes and other content coming out on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Adam, we've got some big episodes coming up. You mentioned it earlier in the episode, like 2 hours ago is what it seems like. We got a roster preview, a schedule preview. We got some other fun, I think, episodes coming up within the next few weeks. So stay tuned. Season 6 of Row 60 is here.
It's here.
Yep.
It's here. So, Clark, as you're listening to this episode right now, Georgia football practice has already begun. Fall camp has already begun when you hear this episode, man. So that means from now until hopefully the end of January, you're going to have live football reports every single day if you get out there and look for it. Because it's here. Football's here. You've made it. The dog days of summer. It's still hot outside, but you've gotten through summerless football. are just an off season full of football. All those long days in February, all those long days in March and April, you've gotten through all of that. Football's here. And it's time to get fired up because this is going to be a dang good football team. I know I've said that. This is the 6th year I've said that every year, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth. It's the truth, man. So I cannot wait to continue to break this team down and see what we have. A couple more weeks to talk the season, then it'll be that first preview.
Yes, sir.
Then look out for another traditional live call-in show to open up a Friday night, the first Friday night of the season. I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to have one.
I like it, Adam.
So,
I love it.
We're going to have it.
Good.
So be on the lookout for that. We love y'all. Go Dogs,
Go Dogs.
baby.